how can I fix this? How can I fix this? I made one dumb mistake, and I'm never being forgiven for it. And this show that I'm 75 years old, so it's time to look after.
A father, frail and broken, sits in Mexico battling the cruel aftermath of a devastating stroke. His once strong voice, the same voice that cheered his daughter through school plays and milestones, is now slurred and trembling. His face droops with the damage of illness, yet he still forces out one heartbreaking question: how can I fix this? That's Thomas Markle's desperate plea to the daughter who once meant everything to him, but Meghan Markle's reply? Cold, cutting, and deafening silence. Can you even imagine? While Thomas fights for his life just across the border, Meghan, in her grand Montecito mansion, refuses to even pick up the phone. The distance between them isn't measured in miles. It's measured in compassion, in humanity, in love. And Meghan's side of the scale is terrifyingly empty. Now, the world is about to see shocking, never-before-seen footage that will rip the lid off this tragic father-daughter collapse. What you're about to witness isn't just a family feud. It's a public reckoning, one that could shatter Meghan's carefully polished image once and for all.
Bloomberg really thought Meghan Markle would be their golden guest. Big name, royal ties, global recognition.
Thomas Markle's upcoming appearance on Channel 7 Australia isn't just some throwaway media interview. No, this is his last stand. Look at him, 79 years old, his eyes heavy with sadness, his face permanently marked by the stroke that nearly ended his life. You don't need words to understand his pain. His very presence tells the whole tragic story.
Charles is in a tight spot, and not the kind that even a monarch can wiggle out of. Behind the palace walls, things aren't.
Every syllable he struggles to get out carries a lifetime of heartbreak. This is not the Hollywood lighting director who once walked red carpets with pride. This is not the man who helped his daughter shine under the spotlight. This is a father, a broken father, clinging to his final hope of reconciliation. And here's the part that stings the most. Thomas's message isn't dripping with anger, nor is it some bitter rant. It's pure desperation, a cry for healing. He still believes, somehow against all odds, that he can repair the bond his daughter so ruthlessly destroyed.
Tamron Hall can't stop smiling as she roasts Meghan Markle's Netflix cooking show while discussing her new book, A Confident.
But then Lady Colin Campbell, always armed with blunt truths, enters the scene with a reality check sharper than a knife. Let's set the record straight. Thomas didn't wreck this relationship. Meghan did. For years, he tried to preserve his dignity, staying quiet while Meghan and Harry cashed in on public pity through tell-all interviews, glossy documentaries, and sensational revelations. Compared to their media circus, Thomas's few appearances are a whisper against their endless thunder. The saddest part? The geography makes this abandonment unbearable.
It'd be really a case of third time lucky for this particular individual that's now very much aligned, some might suggest.
Meghan is just a few hours away, tucked in her sprawling Montecito estate, while her father struggles alone in Mexico. She could drive to him in the time it takes to have brunch in Beverly Hills, but she won't. The distance she's created isn't physical, it's emotional, and it's a chasm so wide you could drop the entire royal family into it and still not fill the void. And let's be crystal clear, Thomas isn't begging for fame, money, or some headline-worthy vindication. He's begging for a call, for a text, for contact. Meghan's refusal to offer even that reveals a side of her the world has long suspected, but rarely seen so starkly. The cold reality hidden beneath her compassionate humanitarian mask. But brace yourself, because things are about to get even darker. Channel 7 isn't just broadcasting an interview. They've set up an expose that could tear Meghan's public persona to shreds.
Word has it that ambitious Meghan Markle is desperately scheming for yet another major televised interview. This time with the
Don't be fooled into thinking this is accidental timing. Channel 7 has orchestrated this with surgical precision. This isn't tabloid fluff. This is an international broadcaster lining up the shots for a media earthquake, and here's the twist. Thomas won't be standing alone. Samantha Markle and Thomas Markle Jr., his other children, Meghan's half-siblings, are stepping into the spotlight too. For the first time, they're uniting against Meghan, creating a family front she can no longer dismiss as petty daddy drama.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, because now we'll uncover the details.
The hints are already pouring in. This isn't just family grievances being aired. The footage, sources whisper, contains moments so raw, so deeply vulnerable, that Meghan's icy silence will look like sheer cruelty. Imagine watching your father, frail, sick, begging for love, while you, the daughter he raised, can't even return his calls. And then think about Meghan's public image, the one she's worked tirelessly to craft. the advocate for family values, the campaigner for mental health, the woman who preaches empathy and understanding on global stages. Yet when it comes to her own father, the man who once held her hand through life's toughest storms, she chooses nothing but silence.
Nothing's working to cover up Meghan Markle's career catastrophe. No. The Archie and Lilibet stunt.
That's the hypocrisy about to be exposed for the world to see. This isn't a whispering campaign in the tabloids, nor is it Britain's royal obsession spilling over. No, this is a major Australian network pouring serious resources into tearing down Meghan's mask. And trust me, they know exactly what they're doing. Their promotional push is making it clear. This is appointment television, the kind of explosive cultural event that doesn't just trend for a night. It dominates the conversation for weeks.
The hideous and heartless betrayal of Thomas Markle continues apace, with a vomit.
But what makes this even more damning is the unexpected unity now forming among Meghan's estranged relatives. For years, Samantha Markle and Thomas Jr. had their own battles, sometimes even against each other. Yet now, their father's failing health has forced a truce. They're standing together, fueled by one mission: to call out Meghan's abandonment. This isn't just about Thomas anymore, it's about a pattern. A trail of cut-off relatives, discarded family members, and broken ties left in Meghan's wake whenever someone stops serving her narrative. And royal watchers are already whispering that this is Meghan's Achilles heel.
It's time to look after Daddy. I'd talk and do something and wait 30 days to get a response from Meghan.
The timing of this documentary couldn't be more brutal for Meghan. Just as she's been trying to stage a quiet image reboot, appearing courtside at a Lakers game, showing off subtle cosmetic changes, and parading herself as if everything's under control, Channel 7 swoops in with this emotional bombshell. Let's be real. You can tweak your hair, change your wardrobe, and hire all the PR teams in Hollywood, but none of that matters when raw footage shows your stroke-ridden father slurring through his tears, asking why his daughter won't call him. That kind of image can't be spun, no matter how glossy your Instagram posts look. The palace, interestingly enough, is watching closely. Officially, they've stayed silent on the Markle drama, but the whispers are undeniable. This Australian broadcast could complicate any chance of reconciliation between Meghan, Harry, and the royal family. After all, how can they preach privacy, healing, and unity while Meghan's own father is on international TV begging for a phone call?
Shot me, and now she admits it to me.
I was like, I don't know why, but I don't believe him. Lost my dad.
This isn't just about family squabbles anymore. This is about credibility. Meghan's Hollywood deals, charity partnerships, and global reputation all rest on the idea that she's compassionate, resilient, and family-oriented. But when your sick father is ignored, that brand starts to crumble.
Spotlight sharpens and the silence cracks. We're left wondering, who is the real Meghan Markle?
The contradictions in Harry's case are jaw-dropping. On one hand, he claims he couldn't sue back in 2012 because of a secret palace deal with the press. On the other, he insists he didn't even know the full scope of the hacking until 2019. Which is it? How do you know enough in 2012 to justify not suing but still claim ignorance 7 years later? It's a logical train wreck. And here's the detail that really twists the knife. Harry conveniently forgets to mention that his own brother, Prince William, quietly settled with the same publisher in 2020. That wasn't some tiny side note. It was a precedent. William played it smart, solved the matter, and walked away with compensation. Harry, he chose war.
Thomas reflects on the media's portrayal of Meghan as both victim and villain. He acknowledges that the truth is probably...
Lady Colin Campbell doesn't mince words here. She flat out accuses Harry of reshaping his narrative just to inflict maximum damage on the press. And the judge's findings back that up. Harry's current testimony doesn't even line up with his own earlier legal filings. That's not just sloppy, it's potentially catastrophic. Think about it. A royal being called out in court for making contradictory statements. This isn't media gossip, this is legal reality. And if there's one place you can't afford to be inconsistent, it's under oath. The money at stake here is enormous. Harry is juggling 3 separate lawsuits against British newspapers, and the legal fees alone could drain millions. Even worse, the publishers he's suing aren't backing down. They're not just defending themselves, they're tearing apart Harry's credibility, making sure he never dares to bring another case like this again. And they've already spotted the weak point. Harry's own filings contradict each other. In one statement, he paints one version of events. In another, he shifts the narrative entirely. Judges hate that, lawyers exploit it, and reputations crumble under it. The fallout isn't limited to Harry alone. Imagine the constitutional awkwardness. A man who is still sixth in line to the throne being labeled as unreliable in open court. That's the kind of stain no PR spin can wash away. And just when you think Harry's credibility couldn't sink lower, we learn that 9 days before King Charles's coronation, Harry filed fresh legal documents that didn't just target the press, they attacked his own family. He went after his father, his stepmother, and his brother, throwing them under the legal bus at the very moment the monarchy was preparing for its grandest event in decades. Royal insiders describe it as nothing short of sabotage. It wasn't a legal necessity. It was time for maximum humiliation. The coronation was supposed to be a unifying, historic moment. Instead, palace staff had to scramble to deal with Harry's courtroom grenades. To now claim he was kept in the dark about everything, it stretches credibility to breaking point. Either Harry is admitting shocking incompetence, or he's bending the truth to serve his latest agenda. Neither paints a flattering picture. And here's the disturbing pattern. Harry's claims always seem to evolve when it benefits him. Things he allegedly didn't know suddenly surface in his memory when they can be weaponized in court. That's not the behavior of a victim seeking justice. It's the behavior of someone obsessed with controlling the narrative, no matter the cost. Now, with 3 lawsuits ongoing, Harry looks less like a man seeking justice and more like someone consumed by vendetta. Legal experts warn he's dug himself into a hole so deep that even winning one case won't save his reputation. The kiss cam rejection wasn't just an embarrassing moment, it was a metaphor for everything. Harry leans in, hoping for validation, and Meghan turns away. Their American dream, once painted as freedom from royal constraints, is unraveling under the weight of contradictions, staged stunts, and relentless criticism. And still, looming behind Meghan's every move is Thomas Markle's haunting presence. Every day she doesn't call him makes her look colder, more heartless. The Australian documentary threatens to brand her abandonment of her father as the defining story of her character. A woman who told the world she cared, who lectured audiences about compassion and family, leaving her own father to rot in silence after a stroke. NBC, almost mockingly, announces plans for a Suits spin-off linked to Meghan, a Hollywood wink at her past glories. But what good is a scripted show when reality paints you as the daughter who turned her back on her dying dad? The truth is, Meghan and Harry's reinvention is falling apart. The Lakers stunt didn't prove their love, it exposed their struggle to stay relevant. Their Hollywood orbit isn't powered by prestige, it's kept alive by PR tricks. And their reputations aren't defined by achievements, they're defined by complaints. Thomas Markle's plea, his broken words, "How can I fix this?" will echo louder than any glossy photo shoot or charity speech Meghan can stage. Because the answer, brutally and tragically, is that he can't. Some wounds don't heal, some betrayals leave scars too deep, and some reputations, once cracked, shatter forever. This isn't just about Meghan turning her back on her father. It's about Harry turning his back on his own credibility. Together, they've burned every bridge that could have given their post-royal life meaning. They once claimed they despised fame's circus, now they live for it. They once spoke about compassion and dignity, now they embody contradiction and desperation. So, here we are, a week that perfectly captures their downfall. Because some bridges can't be rebuilt, some damage is irreversible. And once the world sees who you really are, no amount of glossy PR can cover it up.